Hey, what's up guys? This is a beginner's guide to running tributes. So we'll look at, I'm going to run through a playback of a video that I recorded, and we're going to pause where necessary and kind of break down each pool. So this is really for guys who have just leveled alts and are wanting to run tributes for the first time. It's not going to help you run it faster necessarily if you're already good at it. So just a quick high level for folks that haven't done this before. You know, what you're going to need to bring with you and all that. So for professions, you're going to have engineering. I would really recommend enchanting. So you can disenchant all the tribute loot that you get at the end that doesn't sell for very well, or a lot of the green weapons will give you greater eternal essences. So I would recommend engineering and enchanting. You got to have engineering either way. So things you'll need to bring with you are going to be large thorium charges, lesser invisibility pots, and then you know, of course, bring some bandages and healing pots and stuff like that with you. That helps. You'll need, you know, food and water, although once you get good at it, the food and water will supply itself from the tribute chest. And then you will, for how I run it, you also need to bring some dense dynamite or some goblin landmines. I think that's it for the high level, and so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So to start out, I forgot to go over some pet commands. So you want to, you know, as much as you can, bind your pet commands to your keys, and you're going to be using, you know, pet attack and pet stay and pet passive a lot. So on this first pull, you're just going to lay down a freezing trap and put your pet on stay, and then have him attack the ogre, and then put him on pet passive, and he'll run back to the spot where he originally was, and he'll draw the ogre into your freezing trap. So you're gonna go to this wall here and wall jump up. Careful not to aggro the guys on the left. Alright, so now for this pull here, you kind of have to size up each side of the two packs on either side of this arch here and make a choice about which one looks easier. If both of them look bad, I'll show you an alternative way to do this in a second, but you know, what makes it look good is if you don't have very many brutes, or if the brutes are far away from where you need to run. So pack on the right looks good, just one brute, he's far away, just scatter shot him, run behind this and feign death. So if both packs look bad, you can do a pet pull here. So just wait to drop combat from the guys that you picked up on the left, summon your pet, put them on stay, drop a frost trap, pet attack, and then pet passive. And then I usually try to concussive shot this brute here just to help keep your pet alive. So this is something that can happen with the polymorph. It's very, very rare, but I just kind of wanted to leave it in to show you just when things like this happen, just try not to panic, drop aspect of the cheetah, use your tools, get to a safe spot and feign death. Things like this will happen. The warlocks can also do something similar where they banish you. So just when you're running by warlocks, always keep your eye on them. They might try to immolate you too. We'll kind of look at that here in a sec. But pick up your key from this chest, and then just kind of hang out here until the patrols look good. I got kind of unlucky here. The patrols are kind of random. Normally you don't have to wait this long, but if you do have to wait for this guy to pad up the ramp, just hang out, make sure the patrolling guard isn't coming at you, and you should be safe here. Even if the guard comes, you can kind of move to some of these pillars on the right and shadow meld or feign death if you're not a night elf. So wait for those packs to clear out. Just kind of run directly this corner here. move up to like the top of the diamond, then strafe left, then jump up there. Just keeps you from aggroing both packs in that spot. So you got eyes in this hallway, just target them and kill them. Put your pet on stay. Send them in and then pet passive. So for this next pull, I usually just send them at that first reaver there, then target one of the ogres behind you and just send them back there. I think I messed this pull up a little bit, but you'll see you know, sometimes in this spot if you get crippled or if your pet gets crippled in a bad spot, it's probably going to die. I could have used my PvP trinket here to keep him alive. I also got stuck, so hadn't done this in a while, a little bit rusty. So your pet does die here sometimes, but if you can avoid getting crippled, or if you can trinket out of it, or if your pet doesn't get crippled, you can usually keep him alive here. So this part, I like to kill the bugs here. A lot of people don't, and it's probably faster not to kill the bugs, but I just think it's easier, especially when you're learning. It creates a lot of space here, and this upcoming part is one of the trickiest parts to learn, I think, with the you've got a wandering eye, you've got a guard patrol, so if you just kill the bugs, it's real easy. Gives you a little bit of extra silver, and it also gives you a lot of space to work with on this next pull. So I think using goblin landmines is the easiest. You can also use dense dynamite, which I'll show you here in a second, but lay down an explosive trap, lay down your landmine, send your pet in, then use volley, and it'll draw the bugs over your mine and your trap, and it should one-shot them, or if it doesn't one-shot them, it'll be really close. So goblin landmines are kind of a pain in the butt to make. So if you want to just use dynamite, it's a little more, you have to coordinate a little bit more, but you can also use dense dynamite. Just send your pet in, wait for the bugs to group up, throw your dynamite, throw out a volley, they'll come to your trap, and they should get one shot, or if they don't get one shot, you should just be able to finish them off pretty easy. So after you kill the bugs, just move up here. You've got a lot of space to work with. I make a simple little target eye macro so that you can target the eye and then you can kind of look up and see where he is on the ramp. But just stay away from this patrolling guard here and just wait for the eye to show up and then just kill the eye. After you kill the eye, the guard's patting back. Just stand around this corner and wait for him. I also mess up this pull. Again, a little rusty, but when the guard starts patting back from this point, let him complete his pat, let him start to pat back, then concussive shot the reaver on the right, and then turn the corner and scatter shot. I didn't wait long enough for the GCD to come back up, and so my scatter shot was late. I ended up getting dazed. If that happens again, just don't panic, use your tools, use deterrents here. And then also, I was trying to end it here in Cheetah, but I didn't need to do that. I could have just waited right there, which made it worse. So you see a lot of people say you need to end in Cheetah there. That's only if you don't have time, like if you're running it really, really fast, but we set it up so that that guy was padding away, so you've got plenty of time here to pop back up and then bandage, whatever. Make sure you feign right where I feign there at that back end corner of that ramp right there. I usually face the camera that way so that I can just press forward and then use my mouse. So you pop your invis pot and then just make as direct a path as you can there, because you don't have very much time. So leave your pet on stay back there, drop a frost trap, send him at that reaver. He is sometimes going to aggro this pack on the right, but usually you actually have to send him at that reaver and then send him at the other pack and then put him on passive. I usually give it just a second there to let them hit the slow before I move forward and despawn the pet. Use your Sephorium charge. Kind of turn your camera, keep an eye on those ogres. Run to this corner, Fane. Call my pet right there and put him on stay, just around that corner. Just keeps him out of line of sight of this warlock up here and makes it more likely that he'll live on this pool. Have to kill that roach for the weapon skill up, right? So again, keep your eye on those warlocks so that they don't banish you or immolate you while you're running by. You can just turn and scatter them if they start to cast. So here I'm waiting for my Feign Death to come back up. You just want to have like 12 seconds on your Feign before you start the next pull. Send him at the captain, send him back to that reaver, and then just run here. I like to run to this little corner to get him to despawn. It keeps him alive. Usually you'll aggro those ogres there, but you can just run back around that corner and Feign. It's a little risky, but once you get comfortable with it, it keeps your pet alive most of the time on that pull. So a lot of these little tips are just kind of how to keep your pet alive so that you don't have to stop and res him after every pull. But anyway, put him on stay back there, put a frost trap down, send him at the ogres. I turn here and multi-shot, again because it just draws aggro off your pet. And it's going to make it so that he definitely lives through that most of the time. So if you've done everything correctly, when you're comfortable with it, you'll get here around 7 to 8 minutes or so. Or maybe 8 or 9. I think I started my timer a little late. But when you get there that fast, usually this dog pat up here is just going to be patting away from the king. So I usually don't kill them because it leaves you with enough time to kill them before they start to pat back. While you're learning, you can just kill the dogs. You can put a frost trap right here and then kite them up around the outer edge of the ring. And then just, you know, they'll pat back and then you just continue kiting them, go to the inner circle there and drop down again. But again, once you get comfortable with the boss fight, you can pretty much kill them every time without having to worry about the dogs. As soon as they pass that patch that they just passed, you can send them in. That little green patch on the ground. So I put my pet on stay back there, send him at cho'rush, and then I run to this corner and I use pet follow. He'll despawn, pull him back out, put him on pet stay, heal him up. So I think the most important thing when you're learning the boss fight is don't worry too much about damaging the king until you've got cho'rush. I'm not saying don't damage him, I'm just saying don't worry about getting your rotation down perfect. Hit him where you can, but make your primary focus on getting cho'rush as fast as possible, because as soon as you do that, the fight gets just like twice as easy. So a perfect rotation is kind of like what I just did there, where you get 2 aimed shots off and a multi-shot. Could have been improved because you can get it to where you get 2 multi-shots off too, but again, while you're learning, I wouldn't worry about making it perfect. Just focus on getting cho'rush damage the king where you can. Once he's then your rotation is a lot easier to get off because you don't have to worry about his range damage.
I need to get closer.
So just about anything that you do that's like a buff or a pot or healing or anything like that is going to draw aggro. So just be careful not to do that. It's like if you use rapid fire before you want to pick up aggro, it's going to pick up aggro. I think sometimes even if you change aspects, it's gonna pick up aggro. One thing that's important, I didn't talk about this, but I'll show you on the next pull. I use that little bush up there as a marker to determine when you should start casting aim shot at the king.
I'm out of range. It is too far away.
So just before I wasn't able to do it this time because I messed up the pathing,
I can't
but
do that yet.
just before he passes that little bush, you'll see that's when you'll see I start to use aim shot there.
I need to get closer. It is too far away. I need to get closer.
So again, there are more efficient ways to do this. You'll see videos out there of people running this a lot faster, but I just think this is kind of the easiest way to do it pretty quick. This usually leads to about a 14-15 minute kill. When my gear was worse, it was like 15 or 16 minutes, but like you can do a lot of running around and chasing the king down here to get more shots off, but I think it's a lot easier if you just hug this pillar where I'm at right now. It's just gonna, there's just a lot less risk. You're probably not gonna make a mistake and die. You can use line of sight a lot easier because you get to just stay right there hugging the pillar. When he's low, you can start aim shot later because he's running slower.
I need to get closer.
Pop rapid fire at the end and just send your pet. Only if you know you can kill him on that run though. I usually try to wait so that he's a little bit further because then you can loot him from down here. That's just a tiny little detail. That's why I was running at the wall though, seeing if I could loot him from there. So the rest of the video is just collecting loot, and then I think probably the best way to do this is to just be in a group with one of your alts so that you can just log into your alt and reset the instance, because the run back actually takes a lot of time. So the rest of this video is just showing you the run back, showing you where to look for books and chests. So if you don't want to do that, if you're going to use your alt to reset, then you can end the video here. But it is important, it is important that you go talk to this guy before you pick up the chest, because it's going to make sure that all your tribute loot spawns. But anyway, once you've done that, you collect your loot, you can use an alt to reset the instance and then start over. I always liked to just run back because it was just kind of a little more chill. You get to look for chests and books. It's not as valuable anymore because books aren't worth very much. I found 3 4s doing this, and one of them was from just a random book spawn that I found running back. So I always used to just do the run back. But if you're going to use an alt to reset, which might be the best way to do it, then the video can be ended for you here. So the first chest you can check for is going to be in this corner right here on the left. Chest will spawn here, and I think it's random as to whether it's locked or not, so hopefully you get good luck on chests not being locked. There will be a book that spawns right here. I forgot to mention there's also a book that spawns right behind cho'rush. There can be a chest right over there on the left. Another advantage too of having killed the bug pack is that you don't have to deal with them when you're running back. So after you kill a king, and you become the king, you know, the whole instance is friendly, but the bug packs are not friendly. So if you've killed them, you don't have to worry about getting by them one more time if you're running back. So there can be a chest that spawns right here in this corner. And then there can be a book that spawns over here behind this bush. I think I'll go ahead and end it here. You can run back over to Stomper Creek. He's over there on the left. Sell your loot, talk to your guards, get your buffs, all that stuff. But other than that, that's it for kind of how I run these. Pretty chill. Kill the king around 15 minutes, run back, reset in about 20. You can usually get three of them done in an hour. Which usually is about like 80 to maybe 100, 110 gold per hour. Used to be more when some of the stuff was more valuable. I think pots have gone down for some reason, but still pretty good gold farm, and it's not super min-maxy. It just is kind of chill, pretty safe. You almost never die, so that's kind of what I gravitate towards when I'm farming gold. I'm not trying to push it too much. I'm just doing something that's good, but not too stressful. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope it was helpful.